Everybody's Christopher Small from CMS Law Firm. It is late-ish, 10 o'clock. I'm at the house. I'm sitting in front of the fireplace. It's super, super hot right now. And I wanted to hop on here though. I haven't been on here in a couple days and talk a little bit of estate planning, what's the word, philosophy with you. Because I had a really interesting conversation today and it really epitomizes for me what estate planning is all about and what this process should be like for you and for anyone else that's going through it, that has gone through it already, and might be going through it in the future. And in reality, this philosophy, this approach, it probably applies across the board to everything. But let me tell you a story about what happened, and then I think it'll kind of it'll make clear really what I'm talking about. But I was having a conversation today with a new potential client, and there's two lessons in here actually, by the way. I should probably break this up into two different videos, but I'll put it in here. Maybe I'll say it again in the next one. But this is a young woman, and she's super nice, and she is a business owner, and her business is doing well. Some things have been going right, so much so that one of her neighbors learned of her business success and decided that it was in his responsibility to go and talk to her about what to do now that she had achieved this business success. And his advice was to go talk to an estate planning attorney because she needed to do some things, and that while the company was still being valued at a low range, she needed to do some things. And so I thought that was quite funny because the things that people think they know about is funny. Like, this is a total tangent, but you ever catch those people that they're really good at one thing, and so they just think they're really good at everything? Yeah, so it's not always the case, by the way. So anyway, she called me about that, and that was great. But she also was calling because she didn't have just a regular old estate plan either, and so it was really a double call for her, and she was curious about what to do. She had kids, and she knew sort of that estate planning was important, but was not really sure what to do. She wasn't really sure what the options were that were out there, and she wanted to take a look. And by the way, if you want to know what the options are, and you don't want to have to face the commitment of talking to me on the phone, you can go to estateplanningvideo.com. I put together basically the spiel that I give to everybody when I talk to them. I go through that on this video, so it's free. You can go check it out. The only thing that it doesn't do is give you the context of your own family, which is important, but this will at least give you the background and the basics to think about what you want, which is where we're going here. So we talked for a while, and after learning about her and her family and her assets and her goals, which is how these conversations always go, I sort of broke down for her what her options were. And basically for her there were two options. There was a option one, right? And there was option two. And as we were going through this discussion, and as she was thinking out loud and sort of working through it in her own mind, she asked me, why might someone want to do this thing? Why might someone want to get a trust, is what she was asking, a revocable trust. And I told her, I said, well, you really have to ask yourself there. And by the way, before I say this isn't the only question that you should ask yourself, but in the course of our conversation, I came to realize that this is what really it boiled down to for her. So I said, look, you got to really ask yourself the question, do you think your kids are going to need, or would you want to provide them with oversight over your assets so that when they turn 18, if you're gone, they just don't get a big check, right? They just don't have carte blanche over this money to do whatever they want with it, to sort of run wild, to make good or bad choices. Do you want some oversight? Do you want an extra layer of security and experience in there? And what I told her was what I firmly believe, and that is, look, I don't care what you do. I'm not here to judge your choices. What I really want you to do is make sure that you make an informed decision. I want you to know the good things about this choice, the bad things about this choice, and make the choice based on whether or not those things are important to you. I gotta touch the screen here real quick because the battery's going down so I can see myself. Perfect. The joys of live video. But anyway, after a while, she said to herself, you know what? I really trust my kids, and I don't think that's going to be a problem. So I don't think I'm going to do the trust. And I said, that's fantastic. You know, that's the best thing that I could hope for, is that, you know everything. Everything is laid out in front of you, and you're making the best choice for you and your family. Because I really don't care. You know, a lot of other attorneys, they wouldn't do that for you. They would try to guilt you into it. They would impose sort of their own beliefs and their own philosophies on things. And I certainly have those. And if asked, I will tell you what I would do. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. And it's your responsibility to do these things to protect your family in the way that you want, to protect yourself in the way that you want. And, no one should be getting in the way of that or judging that. So I certainly don't do that. But so at the end of the day, the question that I posed, I think, was, is there a perfect estate plan out there? And the answer is yes. And the rest of the answer is that it's really different for everyone, right? The perfect estate plan is different for you than it is for me, than it is for everybody else. And the reason for that is because our families are different, our philosophies are different, our goals are different, the assets that we bring in are different, what's important to us is different. And so those things all get reflected into what that perfect estate plan is for you, for me, and for everyone. And what's most important, or what's helpful, is to have someone that can sort of guide you on that journey, put together the package that you need, and make sure that when push comes to shove, when the rubber hits the road, when, I don't know, whatever other cliche saying we've got happens, that these things work the way that you want them to. All right, so that is it. One more reminder, if you want just an overview of what estate planning looks like generally, then go and check out the free video that I put together. It's called Estate Planning Video. It's at estateplanningvideo.com. It's sort of my spiel that I give when people come in and talk to me, and it won't have the benefit of having your specific information behind it, but it is the basics. It is the general gist of estate planning. It is the benefits and the downsides of making certain choices with certain estate planning vehicles. So please go check that out. You can click the link. You can just type the link in, estateplanningvideo.com, and I think you'll really like it. Okay, that is it. Christopher Small with CMS Law Firm. It's been a pleasure talking with you once again. I'm going to be on here tomorrow. Once again, I got some other fun stuff to talk about. I'm starting just making a list. So we're going to talk about Q dots. I don't know. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff. But in any event, have a great night, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.